Hey guys, this is Ostadi and welcome back to Comic Space. And as we just recently got a very ambitious slate reveal by Marvel Studios for their upcoming Disney Plus slate for the 2025, which again it was an insane one with a lot of projects involved, with 3 live-action projects coming up, with Daredevil Born Again, with Wonder Man series, with Ironheart, and lots of animation stuff coming off the front of Marvel Animation. So we're going to have a lot of things going on for Marvel Studios, for Marvel Animation, for Marvel Television. So we might as well get a little ahead of ourselves and talk about some of the major projects coming out in the future, in the 2026 and even possibly in 2027, with Marvel Television making tons of progress on a lot of major shows, with the second season of Hawkeye, with Daredevil Born Again season 2, which again they're also looking forward to some new casting in the show as well. We are also going to talk about the Nova, which is again, as Brad Winterbaum, the president of Marvel Television and Animation, have went on to say, is turning out to be an extremely promising show. So when we could accept that show coming out, so we have a lot to talk about. So today's update is coming from Daniel RPK, and again, if you have been following our channel or have been part of the rumor mill, you know that we like to give Daniel RPK a lot more reverence than any other source, as he also having quite an impeccable track record as well. As he have stated that Hawkeye season 2 is looking forward to begin its filming in the fall of 2025, possibly looking at in 26/27 release date. Same with Nova, it is not going to start its filming by the fall of 2025, and of course looking forward to a potential 26/27 release date. And we also have a Daredevil Born Again update attached that we will get into in just a bit. But again, since we are talking about getting ahead of ourselves, let's try to plot all of the projects and everything that we have heard so far about the potential releases and about the potential titles that could be coming out moving forward after we are done with the phase 5 and heading into phase 6, which is going to be the last leg and the phase of the multiverse saga, as we are going to wrap up this whole multiverse saga and all of the storylines. So again, Hawkeye season 2, as it seems like, has been greenlit. Alongside Miss Marvel was also in the conversation that Marvel Studios was looking forward to a potential Miss Marvel season 2, which again Marvel Studios, specifically Marvel Television, have revamped their strategy, how they were going to go about doing season 2s and move forward with new projects, and especially hiring a showrunner, making a pilot and seeing if it actually works. So again, I think, and Miss Marvel, I will still say that you can count that project also, but as of right now we know that Vision Quest series is potentially going to be looking for a 2026 release date, which again Vision Quest is also turning out to be a major project with an elements drawn from the West Coast Avengers and a major crossover event, with of course James Spader is supposed to be coming back in that show as Ultron, and not just for more than a voiceover, but he's actually going to be coming back, but in a major way. So that show is going to have a lot of things going for it. We're of course talking about Hawkeye season 2, and of course moving forward with Clint and Kate's story, and of course Nova series, which is going to be one of the major anticipated project when it officially gets announced, which already it has been officially announced. Brad Winterbaum at many occasions have went on to say a lot of good things about the project and how it was turning out, and like I said earlier, it is turning out to be extremely promising, with of course it is still in the stages of early development, with a lot of those projects coming out in the phase 7 possibly, which again Nova could be one of those projects possibly heading into the mutant saga and not coming within the multiverse, because Marvel is going to have a lot of things, since they are going to wrap up the whole multiverse storyline and all of the things that they have been setting up through this past 5 years and more so. And of course we are going to have Daredevil Born Again season 2 coming out, which again potentially could be looking for in 2027 release date, which again it would be nice if Marvel Studios is actually able to get that show out by 26, which again seems kind of unlikely to be, which I don't think so. They have started filming for season 2. They're for sure looking for some of the casting for the show. Like I said earlier, the Daredevil Born Again season 2 update that we had attached to it was that Marvel Studios was looking for a female lead to play a candidate in the whole Wilson Fisk situation, which again is in such a great storyline that Marvel Studios is building with Daredevil Born Again. I think we are kind of getting a little away from the topic, but I think since we are talking about it, Daredevil Born Again, the whole Mayor storyline that is Marvel Studios is building with Wilson Fisk, I think that storyline is gonna go so far, especially not just within Daredevil Born Again, of course not just season 1, leading into season 1, and possibly even in future Spider-Man projects, Spider-Man and Daredevil team up that we thought we were going to see in the upcoming Spider-Man 4, which is no longer happening. Spider-Man 4 is also turning out to be another major multiversal project with a lot of multiversal elements attached to it. So that is not happening for a while, but again I think Marvel Studios is for sure very known of that anticipated team up right there. So coming back on potential titles, we are of course going to have X-Men Season 2 will be coming out in 2026 in partnership with Vision Quest series, and then potential second season of Hawkeye, which we possibly can get in 2026, very latter of 2026 or in the early months of 27. So we gotta see on that front. And like I mentioned earlier, Miss Marvel Season 2, which can be coming out in the early days of the Mutant Saga when we officially head into it, and especially given the revolution that Kamala Khan is going to be in Mutant in 616 continuity. So for sure we can potentially see in second season of Miss Marvel heading into the Mutant Saga. So again, far as right now, that's all we know officially. And again, if you're talking about rumors and if you're talking about speculation, the list goes a very long way, and most of the projects are really not going to be making up, especially that Mouse Studios is going to be really cautious whenever they are going to head into a major Disney Plus series. Right now we have a Weekend series possibly in conversation that Mouse Studios could be moving forward, and again we gotta see how they're going to do it, and especially given the fact how they're going to move forward with Agatha and Wiccan story, which we know that Wiccan is going to go find out where Tommy is, but is that storyline big enough that they're actually able to spread that story across in major 6 episode Disney Plus series or in 9 episode Disney Plus series? So again, we don't have too many things that we have heard about Marvel animation apart from X-Men 97 Season 2. We probably should have gotten What If Season 4 that we are not. What If Season 3 is going to be the final piece in the What If trilogy, which Marvel Studios initially planned out to be an yearly release, with releasing new season each year throughout the multiverse, which of course that's not how it turned out to be. But again, I think it is going to be fun with what Marvel Studios is planning, which again we just kind of had in preview of what the potential and the shows that have the highest potential of the coming out, and all of the things that we talk about are pretty much actually be coming out. And of course we are also going to have an Young Avengers Disney Plus series, which we thought in the initial time it was supposed to be a theatrical project, but now it is turning out to be in Disney Plus series, and the title has been renamed to The Champions, which we did talk about in the recent video. In the very last video we just did talk about the Young Avengers and did a full breakdown of what that story is going to be, and it is going to be turning out to be in Disney Plus series, potentially be coming out at the same time as Secret Wars, and of course it is going to be in major team up. Whatever that show end up being called, it is going to be in major Avengers level crossover event. So again, if you like, you can also check on that video. We did the whole breakdown thing on the Young Avengers and what is going on that front. So again, I think it is time for me to see you guys off on this one. I'm so glad that you guys got the time to hear me out. Thanks for listening to me. This is your host Ali signing off. See you in the next one.